Hello gamers and welcome back to the Armbar Arcade. It's AJ with you today with Sonic Mania. And get ready for my wholly unoriginal take. This game is fucking brilliant. Because clearly we hadn't had enough of nostalgia with Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy, here comes Sonic's attempt to reboot the past glories. This is not a straight remake of the first three Sonic the Hedgehog games. It's sort of an amalgamation of a remake of all three, plus some elements from some of the other classic Sonic games, plus some original levels, plus some interesting new stuff, mashed together to form basically, you know those greatest hits albums where the old tracks are remastered and sound better than ever, and then the band gets the original lineup back together and they re-record some new tracks with all new recording equipment and they sound amazing as well, and maybe they had like a live album for good measure. Yep, this is basically it. This is Sonic the Hedgehog, the Singles Collection remixed. We'll start off in Mania Mode. This is the main single-player mode, and you have an option of who to play as. You can play as just Sonic, which is very nice. You can do the Sonic 2 thing of Sonic and Tails if you want to have someone to see comically die every so often to relieve the tension. Or you can play as Knuckles, who punches things rather than jumping on stuff. We'll stick with the classic combo of Sonic and Tails and dive straight in to the game. And guess where we are? Yep, of course, it's Green Hill Zone. Because this is a retro Sonic reboot game, it's by law, you have to have Green Hill Zone in it. In fact, I would speculate that, along with maybe like Rainbow Road in Mario Kart, Green Hill Zone is probably the most remade level in any game ever. Oh, hi, Badnik. Goodbye, Badnik. That was very Tommy Wiseau there. Oh, hi, Badnik. Oh, hi, Mark. Should we do the bonus level? Let's do the bonus level. We're about to collect blue spheres. Apparently red spheres are bad. Well, obviously we do know that red pilling is very bad. And that's that. The great thing is with this game is that it's kind of not a straight remix. That's why I actually think it's slightly better than Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy. N. Sane Trilogy was a straight remake, you know, like shot for shot of... Tails just wandering into death again. Never stops being funny. Whereas Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy was like a straight remake of the original levels, like shot for shot, with the original blueprints and everything, this isn't. For now it is, but they slowly evolve, and without any noticeable, like, record scratch, here's the bit that's now different in the level. The levels slowly change, so by the end you're basically playing a completely original level. And then there's the levels that you'll see in a bit, which are completely original. They're not remakes of old levels from Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, 3, and I think Sonic CD gets a bit of love in this edition, which is nice. Let's go into another bonus. I would say let's go into a bonus zone, but Tails is just like, nope, fuck this. Look at it there. Floating along with a Chaos Emerald. It's all the motivation Sonic ever needs. You can get him to do everything. Sonic, can you do the dishwasher for me, mate? Oh, really? Why? I'm like... There's a Chaos Emerald in there. Yeah, I'm doing it now. Basically do all the household chores by promising the Chaos Emerald at the end of it. There we go. Our first boss fight of the video, and it's a swinging pendulum of mild peril. I wouldn't say doom. Okay, now I would. Now it's threatening to... Oh, thanks. Tails is actually coming in use. What the hell? 0 out of 10. Totally unrealistic. Okay, no, that's better. He just took the fall for us. This is basically like the ultimate like hot tag team. Tails is the underdog that takes the beating, and then he gets the hot tag to us. No, actually, he has taken it. He's like, no, I do not have to wait for my big brother Sonic to get the hot tag. I'll take this motherfucker down myself as we complete the first act and straight into the second act. Each level has 2 acts. And one thing I do like a lot, again, keeping with the things are original but slightly not, both acts have a different remix of the theme. So obviously you can hear in the background, that's the Green Hill Zone, like, riff, but it's slightly different. And I like that. You basically get 2 nice remakes of a cool theme for the price of 1. Yeah, I know, Sonic. I'm explaining cool things about the game. Do you want to be patient, mate? Look at him there. He's like, come on. Anytime you're ready, mate. I'm here to run. I'm here to sprint. Oh, Usain Bolt. Now, what's interesting about this game from my perspective is that obviously a lot of Sonic fans have a lot of nostalgia for the original Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy on the Sega Mega Drive. Duh, I'm exactly in that category. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 was my first ever video game of any kind. Of course I fucking love that game. It's one of my favourite games of all time. Sonic 2 is amazing as well. Didn't play as much of Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles, but still, amazing games. No arguing that at all. But a lot of Sonic fans will also tell you that ever since he went 3D, the whole series has been absolute crusty wank. And if you're talking about Sonic 06 and Sonic Unleashed, I don't really have to have even played them to tell you that, yeah, they are basically elephant diarrhea. But overall, I mean, like, we've played some of the 3D games on this channel. Me and Nay both played Sonic Generations, which was pretty good, although kind of doesn't really help my point when the best parts of that game were the 2D bits that were throwing back to this generation of games, and the 3D bits were the kind of crap part of that game. He's also played Sonic Adventure on this channel, which was pretty good. So I'm not one of these people that insists that the only way to make Sonic the Hedgehog good is to go back to 1991. But having said all of that, I think this is pretty much the zenith of rebooting the original Sonic the Hedgehog games. This is basically about as we've reached the peak of what you can do with it. This game is so good, and it does everything so well, that I don't really think there's much room to do any more like this. This is the ultimate in, let's go back to the past and remix the original games because we know they were good. And I have died, because apparently, fuck nostalgia. Ironically, this is basically a fan game. Sonic Team actually said, you know what? Maybe we don't know the essence of our old original Sonic the Hedgehog games and what made them good quite as much as we thought. So why not bring in some fans who have been making fan remixes and fan ports of Sonic the Hedgehog games for years to do this fan remix of the old Sonic the Hedgehog games? These are clearly people who, with an absolutely amazing level of love for the originals, who really wanted to do something innovative with them as well, didn't want to just remake them because they've already been done. And the result is, like what I said at the top of the episode, you've got these remakes of the original levels, you've got new levels designed in the original way that feel as good as anything that was in the original games, as Robotnik's bandits are currently playing keepy-ups with a Chaos Emerald. I don't think that's a very good idea, as they've now fucked up the space-time continuum. So yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, you don't just fucking play keepy-ups with a Chaos Emerald, do you? And yep, of course we're in Chemical Plant Zone, because where it's mandatory by law to have Green Hill Zone in any Sonic fan remake, you also have to have Chemical Plant Zone. It's just the rules. For me, this is almost better than Insane Trilogy, because it goes that extra mile with it. It's not just straight remixes. It's creating a fresh game using retro ingredients, I think is the best way to put it. It uses some ingredients from the original games that you'll recognize. It creates new levels using that kind of blueprint and template and those philosophies. And you just get this really fucking well-rounded, well-built game full of love and attention to detail. Like, everything has been paid attention to. Even the little animations like that. The little way. Look how cute he looks when he looks like. Look at that! He's like, ooh. He's like a sort of puppy. Uh-oh. What the hell? Okay, I just randomly died for no reason. Where? Bye, Tails. Hello, Tails. Bye, Tails. Worth mentioning that Tails, it actually does come in handy at times. He's not just a killable extra. See there, he's saved me from a spider trying to touch me up. Which is very nice. Everyone should have a friend like Tails. Boss fight time again. Here we go. What have we got now? Submarine. We all live in a grey submarine, a grey submarine, a grey submarine. Also worth noting that this game has the difficulty level of the originals down pat. It is, if I put it this way, the first time I loaded this game up and played it, I nearly game overed in Green Hill Zone. I don't think I've ever done that in any Sonic game ever. But it has that exact same level of frustration from the old games. It's the good kind of frustration. It's not the bad kind of frustration where the game just kills you cheaply and then laughs at you about it and you just throw your controller across the room, rip the cartridge out of the console, because of course this is a Mega Drive era game, and play something else. This has the just one more try level of frustration. Like, fuck, if I just do that fucking thing, I'll do it. And you mash restart again. You see the game over screen, you go, argh, and you just mash restart and you do it again. And you're like, just one more go, and then 5 hours later, people are phoning you up, reporting you as a missing person. So, it has that level of frustration to it, which I do approve of. And the boss has been defeated. Tails, can you... There you go. Tails come through with the clutch. I was like, help me, I'm being touched up by a spider. And he was like, that's an unusual request. I was just like, yeah, I know. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, you should know this by now. And the levels have this really lovely feeling of massiveness. There's so many different paths to explore, so many hidden things, so many annoying fucking enemies, so many weird little puzzles and traps, and it has that weird feeling of sometimes you move through the levels so fast and the paths are so wild and random that you're so out of control that you just see entire bits of the level fly by and you're like, oh, I wouldn't mind going that. Oh, never mind. This game top to bottom is so fun. I'm conscious that this entire video will be just me gushing over how fun this game is. Like, spoiler alert, this game's really fun, guys. But it's a really fucking well done game. It's lovely. So I'm going to stop gushing now and actually just play the game. Because really, I don't think I need to say anything else. Oh, you arse! You absolute rectal discharge. Unnecessarily wordy insult there, AJ. Oh, bollocks. Massive steaming this episode. Any pretenses this episode have had of being PG have just gone out the window. As has Tails, he's just fucked off to Narnia. Where are we going now? We're in the loop-de-loop around the roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster, just got right in. Wow. Is this the first time Ronan Keating has been referenced in a Sonic video? And now we're in a boss fight. And I do appreciate how creative the boss fights are in this game. This may be the best demonstration of that. You're literally playing Tetris against him. What's the end game here? It's just like, you lost at Tetris. Give me the Chaos Emeralds now. And Sonic's so ashamed of being beaten by a man with such outrageous facial hair at an arcade game that he has to give up all the Chaos Emeralds immediately. Like, is that the end game here, or am I just thinking too much? I'm thinking too much about it, aren't I? Whee! Wow, that is some punishment for being shit at Tetris. You are the weakest link, goodbye, and he literally just gets eliminated by his chair exploding. Never been in an arcade where that's happened before, which is a good thing. Given how crap I am at air hockey, I'd rather I didn't fall through a trapdoor every time I lost at air hockey. Here we go. Now, this is Studiopolis Zone, which is the first of the original levels in the game. And just look at it. Look at how gorgeous this level is. And I love how rich and deep the level design is. This is a 2D game, but look how deep the background looks. It really reminds me, actually, of another game that did this really well. And incidentally, another game that got a HD remake, sort of in the same style as this. Do you remember Oddworld Abe's Odyssey? The original Oddworld games on PS1? I played a hell of a lot of Oddworld Abe's Exodus, and I love the fact in that game, it was a 2D game, where you were on a 2D plane, and yet the maps had so much, like, depth to them. It looked fucking amazing. The music's so funky. It's really good and it's really funky. It's really fucking catchy. I'm gonna be humming it all night while I bounce on these massive big red balls. That's not an innuendo. Who am I kidding? Of course it's an innuendo. What's PWG doing here? Are we actually where they have pro wrestling guerrilla matches? Am I about to stumble on the Battle of Los Angeles? Is that what's going to happen? Don't blame me this time for the niche wrestling reference. The game literally made the reference for me. I'll be honest, I don't understand the significance of the massive red balls. Unless this is now an attempt to turn the game into total wipeout. I mean, they've already had Sonic and Mario do the Winter Olympics. Now Sonic and Tails do total wipeout? Complete with the big red balls? Ignog! The new original series coming to Netflix, fall 2017. And we're in the director's chair now. Whoop, there we go. Was that like a paparazzi bot? We've now got bandits that are basically paparazzi bots. Is that the new way that people are going to do, like, celebrity interviews? Like TMZ.com is going to be like, all the latest exclusive shots of Jennifer Lawrence's dress from the red carpet at the BAFTAs, or whatever, as recorded by this drone. I think there's going to be some privacy issues arising from that if Paps literally started using drones for their celebrity photos. Ah... There's a little reference for you. Does anyone remember the game Sonic Spinball? I had that game and I really liked it. It was a weird kind of 3D pinball Sonic game. And that little sound you heard there, let's see if I can make it happen again. This sound here. Yes! That's the sound effect from Sonic Spinball. Oh, the nostalgia is strong right now. I've got a little bit of a nostalgia boner, not gonna lie. Because it's such a niche game. Like, whenever people people get nostalgic for the old Sonic games, they never remember that one. And I'm like, why? Tails, mate. Can you stop fucking around, mate? We've got a level to complete. Oh, this is my favourite boss fight that I've encountered so far. Look at this. How badass is this? Sonic and Tails literally running down the road at high speed whilst being chased by a fucking rocket-launching helicopter and badniks with jetpacks. Basically, the idea here is that you play missile tennis with Robotnik. Watch this. Pow! Back at him, and then... Ooh. Get banged! Only Sonic could be badass enough to play missile tennis. Whilst Mario was prattling around rescuing the princess for the 50 billionth time with his silly moustache and his dungarees. Can you tell I was a Sonic fanboy as a kid? Kind of was. You're going down, son. Goodbye. A spectacular crash landing for his helicopter. I love that. Well, clearly, Robotnik is now this world's version of Rupert Murdoch. Egg TV. Now available with every Sky subscription. Because you know that, like, Robotnik... If Robotnik is truly evil, of course he would partner with Rupert Murdoch. Although if he was truly evil, he'd probably try and take over B-Sky B altogether. Now that's the battle I want to see in the business news. Robotnik attempts aggressive takeover with robots of B-Sky B. Rupert Murdoch reportedly rather miffed. And this week's lotto numbers are... Drumroll. Skull, 07, 2X, 1X. And that obviously wasn't the numbers that we had in our lotto ticket, so fuck you. Look at how beautifully designed these... It just looks fucking beautiful. It's art in its own right. Anyone want to claim to me that games aren't art? Just look at this. It's fucking beautiful. You can have this sort of artwork in an actual book that you display on like a coffee table. Let's finish up for the moment. I'm going to go back to the main menu and show you one of the other levels in the game, and Time Attack and Knuckles, 3 for the price of 1 there. I like the fact you can actually play just as Tails, which is quite nice. He actually gets his time to shine. But we'll play with Knuckles for now. We'll play as Knuckles, I should say, not play with him. That could get a bit brutal. And we'll play Flying Battery Zone. And away we go! Time Attack in a level that I'll probably get lost in halfway through. In fact, I'm already lost in this level. In short, my first impressions, really fucking good. I love this game. It's really enjoyable. It, for me, sets the standard on what retro remakes of old classic games should now be. It remakes enough of the classic stuff to be a tribute, whilst also taking those original ingredients and doing something new and interesting with them, whilst using the same art style and the same level design philosophies and the same kind of musical styles. It's just fucking lovely, really. I love it. It's really nice. And all for 16 quid. Up. And then up. And then up. And then up. You never saw this episode of Gladiators. You imagine that, a Sonic game, with the ref from Gladiators just there like, Sonic, you'll go on my first whistle. Tails, you'll go on my second whistle. 3, 2, 1. Beep. Well, what the? Oh, yeah, of course. I'm forgetting. I'm still playing this as Sonic. I'm forgetting Knuckles has his own abilities, like, become Spider-Man, apparently. Whoa, wow, I'm dizzy, Hey, cool! Do you know what? I think we'll end it there. I've said everything I want to say about this game. I've played every bit of it I can so far, and I've shown you guys as much as I can. So if you have enjoyed this video, give it a nice big thumbs up. Thank you very much. Subscribe if you're new around here, and comment below your favourite and least favourite reboots of classic things that you loved. So, for example, I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I love Sonic Mania. It's a really good reboot. Were you a fan of Crash Bandicoot? You loved Insane Trilogy? Or were you a fan of... I'm trying to think of a crap reboot off the top of my head. Go nuts in the comments. There's plenty of them, both good and bad. I want to hear from yous. And... it's about time for me to sign off, I think. So, we'll see you guys next time in the Armbar Arcade.